All right, we had a great podcast today, and I had to move my A block, all my good stuff that I do, to the very end. But Frank did a great twin this week in the news, stuff we can learn. Dick did an awesome job about some networking and about getting involved with MLMs and things like that. Good stuff there. And then I finally got my A block going on the other end. There's our train. You're getting railroaded now, you know it. But we really took a look at some cool new stuff out on the web that deals with technology. So let's get started. Hi, I'm Peter for 101 Small Business Mastermind, and with us we have our standard wonderful, intelligent, and handsome cadre. Say good morning, Dick.
Morning, Dick.
Say good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Dick.
All right, and I'm not going to do my part of the show till the end because I'm rendering something and it's going slow. So we're just going to kick right into, wait a second, can't kick right into anything without this, you know.
Oh, there's that sound. There's that sound. It's like Pavlov's dog. I start salivating as soon as I hear that. Okay, that means time for the twin. This week in the news, small business lessons we get from people making headlines. This week's twin is, hey, Herb Alpert. Thank you for the small business lesson.
Now, I do know who Herb Alpert is.
That's the name for the past.
Yeah, there you go. I'm glad you guys are.
If it's the same person we know.
Well, why don't you ask me?
Who is Herb Alpert?
I'm going to tell you who the heck is Herb Alpert, even better.
Who the heck is?
Herb was born in Los Angeles in 1935 to Jewish parents.
It can't be the one I'm thinking of.
Although his father was a tailor by trade, his father also played the mandolin and his mother taught violin. So music was really an integral part of the family. Herb's older brother was a talented drummer, and his younger sister plays piano, and Herb plays the trumpet.
Oh, it might be.
Yeah, it is.
So Herb used to play at dances as a teenager, but he says, this is, it was fun, but he wanted to do so much more. So right after high school, Herb joined the Army, and guess what they made him do in the Army? Play the trumpet. So he used to perform at military ceremonies. And after he left the Army, Herb enrolled in USC, and he was a member of, with his trumpet, the world-famous USC Trojan Marching Band. So Herb says, well, I don't want to play the trumpet. So he tried his hand at acting, being an LA-based kid, and that didn't work out. So he eventually decided to make music his career. And Herb was struggling like all musicians were, and he had this cheap little recording device that he put in his garage, and he was trying to record a trumpet song called Twinkle Star. But you know what? With his musical ear, he knew it wasn't right. And no matter how he tried to change it, it never passed his test. And he got frustrated and says, I got to get the hell out of here. He says, I need a break. So Herb remembered that Tijuana, only a few hours drive south from LA, they had world-class matadors and a trumpet section in the stands at the bullfights. He says, I'm going to go there. I got to get the hell out of my garage. I'm going to go to Tijuana, and then did that. He knew he would enjoy the bullfights, the matadors, and appreciate the trumpets because he was a trumpet kind of guy. But then something happened at that event that changed Herb's life and fortunes forever. Whenever they would announce a different program or a different event at the bullfight, the trumpet section would always play the same sounds. Da, 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 da. And you know the sound. I'm not very good at doing this. And as Herb would recount later, he got chill bumps every time they played that sound at the bullfight. He returned home that evening, and he tried to translate that sound and his feelings into the Twinkle Star song. Herb did, and he renamed the song from Twinkle Star called The Lonely Bull. and The Lonely Bull became a top 10 hit.
I remember it.
Yeah, he became a top 10 hit. Herb then hired some other musicians to play alongside of him. And by the way, they were all Jewish. And he renamed his band Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. In 1966, this was 2 years after the British invasion, Herb Alpert sold more records than the Beatles. That's how popular he was. Herb eventually sold 72 million albums, which is what they had back then.
That's crazy.
But Herb was just getting started. He convinced his friend to start their own recording label, and they called it A&M Records. Alpert and M was Moss, A&M Records. And A&M Records went out and searched for talent, and he found this brother and sister team from Long Beach. And he says, I think these two kids have a nice sound. Their names are Richard and Karen Carpenter. In 1989, Herb Alpert sold the A&M Records to Polygram for $500 million.
Oh my God.
This all began when the son of a Jewish tailor decided to get out of his comfort zone and drive to Tijuana to solve a problem. So what's a small business lesson? Well, maybe it's obvious, but if Herb had not driven to Mexico to solve his problem, who knows if anyone would have ever heard of Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. So my question to you is, what is your biggest problem that you're facing right now? Where could you go out of the ordinary to get your inspiration and find your lonely bull? Too many times as small business owners, we go to the same well as everybody else in our industry to solve problems, and we wonder why we don't find any breakthrough ideas. Step outside your comfort zone, open your eyes. Your lonely bull may be right in front of you. And that's my twin for this morning. I've heard Alfred and the Tijuana Brass.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's born 35, so I guess he'd be, 80, 81? Yeah, 81. Yeah, he'll be 81 this year. Yeah, well, last I checked, he'll be 81.
Yeah.
And why this resonated with me, number one, I was a Herb Alpert fan, back then. We all were, especially.
Still are.
But I never knew. In fact, I thought he was Hispanic. I had no idea he was a son of a Jewish tailor, and I thought that the Tijuana Brass were all Mexicans, Hispanic people. I kind of it intrigued me, and then I realized that the account I'm working in right now, they brought me in because I didn't have any MLM experience. They wanted a fresh perspective, which I'm giving them and continue to give them. So anyway, so don't go to the same well as your competition is. Go to a different well, and you may find your lonely bull. I guess was the small business lesson.
A couple of things, Frank. I remember one of his albums. That's back when they made the big albums.
Right.
It was whipped cream. And they had this beautiful, all covered with whipped cream. It was just a striking. It has to be, if all these years later, I can remember that album cover. So.
Okay.
But to go on with what you were saying as far as going to the well, it's an interesting thing. I went to the Laquita Chamber Mixer, which I'm a member of Laquita Chamber, and I was sitting there, standing there, and it's kind of like, I guess you could say a Ned Ryerson or Groundhog's Day or Deja Vu. It just was the same as the last 10 times I've been to that mixer. Almost the same people. Since when I came home, my wife was we're talking and having a drink, and she said, "Well, how did it go tonight?" And I said, I may have to rethink my La Quinta Chamber strategy. I think it's giving me all it's going to give me. So it's kind of along those lines where, you have to kind of look at what you're doing and ask, okay, it was a fun night. And, they see the same people, it seems like. We talk about the same things and, you have a drink. But as far as being a productive evening, it wasn't, from a business point of view. So it's interesting that you did that thing. I was thinking the exact same thing last night.
You didn't get a chance to try out our experiment last night?
Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, I did.
Okay, well, we'll get to that on the backside of yours.
Okay.
That's going to be interesting. That's a preview, a teaser.
Yeah.
Good.
You brought up the LP. They called LPs. Remember those?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whipped Cream. Whipped
Yeah.
Cream was the theme song of what famous TV show? I'm a trivia nut.
Oh, man, I haven't the slightest.
No, again,
Oh, dating game.
you did know. You're right. That's exactly what it was.
That's right.
The dating game. And,
Yeah.
and I can still hear the song. in
Yeah,
my head,
absolutely. Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
That was Whipped Cream by Herb Alpert.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know we're old.
That's
Let's not talk about the whole theme song.
Yeah.
Herb Alpert.
Wise white men. There you go.
Now, little did we know last week that we'd be talking about the dating game and Herb Alpert this week.
Right.
There
Absolutely.
you go.
Every week is a surprise.
There you go. That's it.
Gotta like that. All right. So, Dick, would you like to take on your C block and
Sure.
talk to us a bit about, I guess, networking again? What's your topic today?
Yeah. It is networking, and I know I'm beating a drum for networking, but it's something that I think is really booming, and Frank's finding it out, and so I think it's important. What I want to talk about today is Plan B. Now, I think there's a birth control thing or an the pill you can take the next day called Plan B, but this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about is what happens if you lose your job. In today's uncertain and economic environment, more families are looking to develop a Plan B. And I think that's one of the major reasons why the MLM, network marketing, MLM industry is booming. And this is why I think it's particularly attractive to stay-at-home moms or households where both spouses are working. I think they're realizing that, what happens if I lose my job? My paycheck goes. So that's why, you hear the phrase a lot, Plan B. What's your Plan B? And I just want to talk about some of the reasons why I think you should be looking at it and why you should be looking at the network marketing industry. And I'll go over just a few of the reasons. One, it's available to anybody of all ages, from 18 to 80. I'm pushing 80 in a few years that I'm doing it. So it's available all ages, and it's something that you can use. I mentioned last week, get in with very low investment, and it's something that can be done on a part-time basis. That's why the flexible working hours, I think, are very beneficial to stay-at-home moms or again, families where both spouses are working. You don't have to, you can work at it whenever you want to work at it. This allows you to do some of the other things that your responsibilities you have as a parent. So I think the flexible working hours are really good. And along with that comes the maximizing communication technologies. You got a smartphone, you got faxes, the computer, the internet, and all these things that are at your fingertips that 25 years ago weren't there. So I think with the use of technology, you can, in an hour a day, accomplish what it used to take 8 hours a day. And I think, that's another reason why I think it's the boom of network marketing is taking off because of technology. It's just something that is just really enhanced the ability of a mother or a father or whatever to do it. And I think that, the most important part of it is, I'm focusing on families with this part, because as I talk to people, I've got a few people that I'm talking to now that geez, I don't know if I have the time, I get this responsibility, I got all this, going on. And so, Peter and I were talking, and he actually gave me the idea to maybe talk a little about it today. Is how do you get the message across that time isn't the issue? Time is not the issue to starting a home-based business. I represent Legal Shield, as everyone who listens to the podcast know, but in any one of there's some the Mary Kays of the world and the nutritional companies of the world. There's a lot of opportunity out there. So what I'm trying to get across to the people I'm talking with and on this podcast, that time is not the reason why you should not do this. Okay, there's other reasons. Maybe you're not ready. Maybe you don't want to. There's a lot, but don't use time as an excuse. And that's why I get into the all in the family approach. This could you start a home-based business. You got if you're by yourself, if you're married, if you have 10 kids, the whole family can get involved in it. And I think it's just some of the highlights or bullet points I've come up with as the family approaches is the common goals of running a business from your home. Pulls the family together. Everybody buys into it. You can utilize individual and collective family skills. You may have, a daughter that's a great communicator, and then you may have a tech geek, can do all the computer stuff for you. So you can use it. You're still working at a job. Family members can work during your regular hours, and do these things on as they have time. It could be a better solution to working spouses. Why not work as a team at home? If you get along well with your spouse, work as a team and do it. My wife and I work the business. She does. I'm not the greatest speller. I'm not the greatest when it comes to forming sentences and putting them on paper and all. And she does all that for me after I've gone through. She checks it, does it all over, and she does a lot of things for me that help me with my business. The kids, and I think this is really a great benefit. If you have children and they see you as an entrepreneur starting their business, that is going to be ingrained in their moral fabrics. And why can't I do my own business? You can build a business and leave it to them. I think the benefits of working from home as a positive influence on your children is tremendous. Most businesses are set up with pre-established rules and websites and all those things, so you don't have to go through all that. Both spouses can exercise individual business capabilities. You're both working. You come home one night, maybe your husband does, or you do it. So it's something you can do around your schedules. And when all else fails, including your job, a family working together is the best survival unit. So I think that to me is a whole core. As we talk about starting a home-based business and you have a family, the whole core is you pull a family together, you work towards a common goal. You're teaching your children business. You're teaching them entrepreneurship. They're seeing what it can do for you as a family. I think it brings everybody closer together, and it gives you the plan B, because the beauty part of network marketing is if you do it right and you do it well, you're going to get income every day. Overnight, your bank account will have more money in it. When you get passive income, you get residual income. If you have a job, we all had jobs in our life, and the day we didn't have that job is the day that money stopped coming in. You stopped getting paid. I think the lesson for the family is, you can't depend on what's going on. I just saw a bunch more layoffs are going on in the country. The unemployment rate ticked up a notch, and also. So I think you can take some of the tension and all out of your life by starting a home-based business and working with it as a family unit and making it a fun project. And the last thing I talk about, which I won't get into, but I personally know, the deductions of home-based businesses on your taxes is immense. You have a tremendous amount of flexibility under today's laws illegally, without breaking any laws, to write off a great deal of what you do in your home against your taxes. So, I would advise you to consult with a tax attorney or accountant rather, and see what they are and keep good records, because you don't want, if you get audited, you want to be able to prove you're accurate. But these are legal, legitimate deductions that are very, very generous to the home-based business. And I think, I just, in talk with Peter, I just wanted to talk a little bit about it and talk about, again, time is not the reason for not doing this. I just want people to understand that you have the time. There are other reasons why you don't do it. Be honest with yourself and say, I don't want to do it. I don't like it. I don't, all those other things. But don't tell me you don't have the time, because everyone has the time to start a business and be very successful at home. That's it.
Okay. I want to comment on a couple of things there. The write-offs you mentioned are in fact immense and completely legal. You can write off your computer. You can write off a portion of your mortgage where you set up your computer, your little office. Any paper and ink and gas and food, even chamber fees, all the business chamber fees. All of that stuff is a write-off to help you make money and pay taxes. That's what they want you to do.
That's right.
They want you to be successful, so you got to pay those taxes. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that H&R Block would help you, but certainly a good CPA, and I have one if anybody needs one, certainly works in that direction. I mean, to even include in some cases in the martial arts businesses, we can write off club memberships for, exercise, stuff like that, keep you fit, vitamins and stuff. It's crazy what you can write off.
With me, my monthly Legal Shield membership is deductible as part of the business. If I fly back to Connecticut and I conduct business back there, a portion of that trip it can be written off, and it's all legal. That's the thing. You stress it, and I want to stress it. This is not an illegal thing. It's all under the rules of the tax laws. That
currently, anyway, in case one or people get in and go to a flat tax and fire the IRS. But currently, all of that is completely legal. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's something people do. Part of your cell phone, or get a cell phone specifically for your business. And if you go ahead and join Legal Shield, even your Legal Shield fees are all tax deductible.
Yeah.
So where else could you buy a business, right, in a box, so to speak, and be able to write even that off?
Right. Absolutely.
So why wouldn't you do it?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, either you can pay it or have Uncle Sam pay it, so have Uncle Sam pay for it.
Sure.
You betcha.
Yeah.
So now, would you mind telling us about your surfboard talk at the meetup or the meeting the other day?
I was at a luncheon the other day, and they have it's a unique format. There's about 50, 60 people there, and they go around to the table, and you get a chance to do your 27-second elevator pitch. But at each table, they have a timer, 3-minute egg timer. And each person at the table has 3 minutes to talk to the table about their business. It's the second time I've been there. The first time the group I was with was kind of scattered, didn't pay much attention. This table was, everybody, got their 3 minutes to talk. But, I have my surfboards, which I use as business cards. And I decided to give my 3 minutes around my surfboard. So I handed them out. And I said, this is my business cards. I'm not giving them to you to keep. I need them as part of my presentation. When it's done, you can all give them back to me. Then I talked for my 3 minutes and I think there were 7 people at the table. And I got 3 cards back. 2 were already Legal Shield members and 1 wasn't interested, but out of that, 4 people said they want to keep the card. 2 said they want me to call them. And it was kind of a different approach. I just took the approach that, you can look at them, but you can't have them. And that seemed to work. So,
what do you think of that, Frank? That's the old.
Love it. Man, all of a sudden, love it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it stopped becoming junk mail. You thought it was valuable enough that you wanted it back, and that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So at the mixer last night, Peter asked me to try it at the mixer. So I only talked to a couple new people, and I was talking to this one guy, and he said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm associate with Legal Shield." And he said, "Oh, what's that?" And so I took the card out. And I went over the back, and I had it in one hand, he had it in his hand, and I went over, these are the things that Legal Shield covers and all this stuff, and talked to him for a little bit. he took the card back and started putting the thing I carried, and he said, "Well, can I have that card?" Like, yeah. So,
Can you show it to the people? I mean, do you have one nearby?
yeah.
A lot of people don't understand why we call it a surfboard, I would imagine.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. But Frank, that's an ultimate play, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is the takeaway.
A whole new start is perception of value.
That's right. If you don't think it's valuable, why should I?
That's right.
Right. So
I just loved what Dick stumbled into, and and then I wanted him to try it one-on-one, to see that it wasn't a one-up.
Right.
Welcome back there, Dick. Okay.
All right.
And talk for us, Dick, so the focus.
Okay. The front of it has asks you a few questions like, have you ever signed a contract? Have you ever felt you've been in a position we needed legal representation? And it has a CD which has information on the membership program, and if you want to start your own business. The back covers the things a checklist that compares Legal Shield with LegalZoom and attorneys, and all the things, different things you might need an attorney for. At the bottom, I don't know if you can see it or not, shows you how much you would pay for it, and for Legal Shield, it's compared to LegalZoom, it's compared to an attorney, and has a QR code on it. So
that's a surfboard, and it's so clever that you did that for a talking point. And you hold it up, and then that check off the back is a very powerful tool.
It is.
I learned about that. I think it was 2004 when I saw something close to that. And for those that are listening, if you have a company, you list all the things that you do, and then go compare that to your competitors, and you'll see that they don't do everything you do. So all the check marks line up in your column.
Yeah. Well, what got me thinking about it to try to do more with the card rather than hand it out was when I was with Marshall Industries. We had our business cards, and we had our mission statement on the back of the business card. And I would give a half-hour presentation just off my business card.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nowhere near what this is. And I would go over each segment of the mission statement and what that meant to the person I was talking to. And it would be a good half hour I could talk with just a little small business card. So I got to thinking, I got all this information sitting in my thing that I carried around with, and why not use that as a tool? So I tried it, and I'm going to use it some more that way. So
interesting. Frank, you want to weigh in on that?
No, again, and anything that makes you different than the other 12 guys they talked to that evening, makes you stand out. And and I love I'd like those back. I love that boy at the table. Why do you want it back? Well,
And I told Dick to
why do you want to keep it? There you go. There you go. Love it.
I told Dick yesterday that to make sure if you're going to do that they see you have more. You don't want it back, they may think that's you have, which isn't the value statement you're trying to make.
Right.
That was important. And I was talking with Dick yesterday. I said, do you know why traffic tickets hurt us so bad? And basically it hurts us because we already have the money, and now we got to pay it to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
So it comes down to an interesting business lesson this way was, some people know I'm a martial artist, and I can do disastrous things to your body in short lengths of time. So if there was a ring, and I told you can get in the ring, if you can stay 1 minute in the ring with me, I'll give you $10,000. Well, as soon as bones start breaking or whatever, right, person will rationalize, he's not going to give me it's not worth it, and he stops, okay? Versus if I give you the 10 grand, and I say, all they have to do to keep that 10 grand is stay alive in that ring for 1 minute with me. And they will run around. Of course, I can't run, so they'll figure that out. And they'll keep that $10,000, and that's an important lesson. Things that you've already got in your hands, you've earned it, so to speak. You don't want to give it up, and the perceived value of his item is huge, They don't want to give that up. I want this, so. I think it's great, great approach.
Well, it is. I was talking to a lady last night, and you guys remember Bruce Stever? He was sitting there with her, and I'd gotten up and gave her my seat because she was eating and I wasn't, so I was being a gentleman. And after a while,
Say again, Dick. You did what? This is unheard of in this world. What you do, Dick?
I got up and gave a lady my seat because I'm a gentleman, but most feminists nowadays would ridicule me for it and say I was being sexist by doing it. But
You sexist bastard, you.
But anyways, we're talking, and we got around to that. So I gave her my card, and Bruce said, "That's the best business card in the Coachella Valley." and I've heard so many comments about it. Even the night before, somebody commented on it at another event. I just was thinking, this has got to be other than myself, selling obviously myself and making people want to talk with me and all, this has got to be a tool that I use more in the process of explaining Legal Shield. So that's why I started using it more.
Interesting mind shift there, Yeah. And it's interesting too, because you are the only one in Coachella Valley using the surfboard approach. Have you seen anybody else do that?
No.
No, I started that this approach in 2004, and with my CD-ROM, my business card, and adding it onto a surfboard, and it makes a big difference. It is different, and it's newsworthy. People talk about it. They show it to their friends. What more could you ever want out of a business card?
Right. Absolutely.
Other than a call.
Yeah. Business.
Yeah, business. Yes, but that was awesome.
Yeah.
Frank, let's hear an update from your stuff.
Yeah, I gave a class last Friday. I guess I haven't spoken to you guys since last Friday. Yeah, I gave a class last Friday, and they have what they call the business opportunity presentation, and they have beautiful slides. I mean, just beautiful and professionally done and designed with pretty pictures and bullet points and everything. And it takes about 34 minutes to do, and it's the company presentation. And what I did, I said PowerPoint is so old. I said, after the third slide, my eyes glass over. And the more bullet points you have, the less I listen to you and read the bullet points, because I can read them at my pace, not listen to you at your pace, that type of thing. So I redid the whole 34-minute bullet point presentation, and I reduced it down a little over 5 minutes. And I did it with the most powerful presentation tool known to mankind. And the question is, what is it, Frank? Okay, glad you asked.
What is it, Frank? What's the most powerful tool known to mankind? I need to know now.
A plain piece of paper and a pen. Because every time you put your pen to the paper, what does the person you're talking to do?
Look at the paper.
They pay attention because they have no idea what you're going to write. And so I did the whole presentation in a little over 5 minutes. And it's already been used a couple of times in Australia and a couple of times in Canada. And I'll be getting the results tomorrow, I guess. In the next day or two, I'll be getting the results of how these people did with the, I call it the napkin presentation, even though it's 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper.
Well, I actually will disagree with you here.
Okay.
And I think the most powerful tool known to man, I'm going to show here in just a minute. And it looks like my rendering isn't going to make it in time, so I'll have to do it from the design environment here, I think. But I was presenting a new website and to some new clients. Yeah, meeting went on quite a time, and so at the very end of the meeting, I said, but wait, there's more. I just want you to listen to one thing. Now, I'm going to share that one thing here with you, and we're going to go through it, and then I'm going to tell you what was said, okay? So you You've got my screen, right?
That guy looks familiar.
Yes, he does. Let's go over to YouTube first, and we'll play it right off of you.
Hi, my name is Frank Seringa, and I'm a marketing strategist based here in Coachella Valley in Palm Springs area of California. And I'm creating this video to give a testimonial to Peter Brusso of infocard.cc. I've known Peter now for almost 3 years, met him at a networking event, and we've stayed in touch, and he's done a lot of work for me. All of it quite well done, as a matter of fact. He is very responsive. He is technically expertise in both websites and social media. And so I give him high grades on that. But that's like saying that your favorite full-serve restaurant, the place where you would go to take that special person to celebrate a special occasion, that favorite restaurant serves good coffee because they do so much more. And it's the same with Peter. I'm working on a major project right now for an international client with people I'm working with both in Canada and Australia. And it's a major account for me. And I brought Peter in to help me with my stuff, my website, my social media, as I said before. But he is so much more than that. He is my business coach. He is my idea generator. He is my questioner. Peter is a tactician from his time in his service. He's a strategist. He's a visionary. Quick example. I was working on a piece of this project this weekend, and I had a very small question. Well, to me, it was a small question. I didn't know the answer to it, so it was a big question to me. But I knew it would be a small question to Peter about something I was doing with Excel. And I said, hey, Peter, and always available when I need him. And that's just awesome. Matter of fact, I kind of take advantage of it. I feel a little bit bad, but Peter is always available to help out. I've never met a man with a bigger heart. But anyway, I had this question on Excel, and not only did he answer it, we were doing it on something called Zoom, and he said, well, let me share my screen. And he actually took me step by step how to do what I wanted to do. And I said, thank you. And I was ready to go. But he says, well, let me ask you this. And for the next, I would say maybe 45 to 50 minutes, Peter opened my mind, created a much bigger picture for me to look at. And I am so much better off for it. And this was done three days ago. The things Peter mentioned to me, the things Peter generated in my mind of how I could expand what I was doing for this major client is mind-blowing. What I thought was this good of a project is now this good of a project due to spending time with Peter on the phone and also on Zoom. So if you're thinking of doing websites or some kind of social media, yeah, use Peter or use somebody else. I'm sure they're all good. But if you want to turn around a failing business, if you want to start a new business or introduce a new product or come up with a new marketing plan, there's no one I would recommend higher than Peter Brusso at infocard.cc. And I thank you.
Now, the interesting part of that, Dick, or Frank, let me stop sharing here. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to get out of this one before it starts. Is I think the biggest secret weapon you just saw, Frank, was a video testimonial. What do you think? Yeah, because it was well, certainly, again, I know it because I was me, but it was sincere. And in fact, when I sent it to you, I said, "Here's my first draft," and I didn't know you were going to take it and publish it right away. So it was good. It was organic, and the close is really what we talked about. I don't just build websites or do social media. I use those as tools to increase a person's business, right? Or turn a business around. These are tools that I use, okay? Now, it was very interesting. The two people that watched this on my phone in the middle of the Italian bakery over at Charlie Maroney's, were captivated. You didn't talk fast. You had a pace about you, and they were hanging on every word you had to say. And at the end, I got done. The thing got done, and they both looked and smiled at me. We want you to build our website. We want you to do this. It closed them, you know. And what more could you ask for? That's the secret weapon. I mean, I saw it, and it was. We had an hour, almost 2-hour meeting, and which is probably 1 hour too long, but it's a bigger project. So that close was just awesome. And Dick, I think that's the first time you've seen it, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was good.
What's your opinion?
No, it's very good. Very compelling. Yes.
You thought he was going one way, and he went a different way in that video testimonial.
Yeah.
It was all organic, and that was the best. You know.
Yes.
I'm thinking that might be, you know, the biggest secret weapon people might be able to do is get video testimonials like that, Frank.
Yeah, and what you did is, I guess you showed it on your phone, right?
Right, I showed it on my Android. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super powerful.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I didn't use anybody's Wi-Fi. It was right through the 3G network, and bing, bang, boom, you know, and it was a closed deal. And I can honestly say I don't think I've ever closed a deal so well in my life. And I didn't do it. You did. Thank you, Frank.
No. I just talked about what you do. So it was that type of thing. But I'm glad it helped. In fact, I feel good now. Thank you. You made me feel good about it. Anyway, I'm glad it worked out. That's tremendous.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, Dick, too, that I might want to do a similar video for your site, talking about my experiences with Legal Shield and why I'm a happy camper. You know.
Yeah.
And that could be really compelling. I would think, you know.
Absolutely.
They know in on my site. Of course, I'm going to lie to them. Of course, I don't lie, but you know, how do you really trust somebody? And that's what. You know, I will remind everybody that people purchase the purchasing equations. They buy with emotion backed up by logic. You know, the emotional part of any buy is, you know, will I look good in this card? These clothes look great on me. Everybody will see I'm sexy or smart or whatever it is. The emotional part, how it makes you feel. And then, oh, by the way, is it a good deal? Is it on sale? Is it a good value? Will it last long? That kind of thing, right? Well, on our websites, the testimonials many times are is it a good deal? It's the logical part of the buy. You know, does other people like this guy? You know, so but I think these videos like that on a testimonial page could be just wild.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think about it first. Thank you, Frank. But I certainly see the value in it for sure.
Yeah.
So there you go. Well, we're going to have to do this thing in the design environment, unfortunately. Here, first thing up.
Have you ever lost or misplaced your keys? Or maybe your wallet? Don't worry, you're not the only one. Over the course of our lifetime, we will spend a total of 3,680 hours searching for lost items. That's a total of 153 days searching for things we've lost. Isn't it time we stopped all this searching? Introducing Tracker Pad. Roughly the same dimensions as a 10-pence coin, tracker pads are a GPS locating pad that will easily find your misplaced goods. Because of its compact size, tracker pads can be placed onto goods that are commonly misplaced. Tracker pads can even be used on more valuable items that could potentially be stolen, like cars, bicycles and motorcycles. Using the Tracker Pad mobile app, you can easily locate your items with a touch of a button. And of course, tracker pads can be reused over and over again. Simply run the back of the pad under cold water and re-stick to your desired surface.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow. And the absolute, here, I'll stop sharing again here so we can all see, I think, talk that out. But I mean, that's a pretty wild invention, don't you think?
Yeah. Very.
And I think, again, my A block, which this is now the A block, I love to show, I've been out looking for, you know, what are the entrepreneurs of the world doing? And I always like to have a tie-in with the, you know, the web or the technology as well. So to invent it, I think that's like an RFID tag tracker, but you can actually track it from the internet. And that's amazing, I thought, you know? Yeah. Amazing stuff. All right, let's go to do the next one.
One application would be put them on your luggage.
Oh, yeah, and they show that too. I saw that on their website. Yeah. And I think you put it on your girlfriend or wife too. You can track them.
Yes.
See where they go. So, Frank, you want to weigh in before you see the next one?
I was thinking about it. Yeah, let's assume you were, again, I always go to, you were a stalker. You could put it inside someone's purse or someone's shoe or something, yep. And you would always know where they are.
Yeah, they would never know it.
And right, they would probably never know it. Wow.
Kind of crazy. Not intended for that use, mind you. And don't try that at home.
No, that's for sure. But
all right, let's go. That is fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
SafePhone helps you drive smart, drive safe. SafePhone is a device that allows you to keep your eyes on the road, even when you have to use the phone. SafePhone helps you use your phone without excessive distraction. With one touch of a button, a driver can dial a number,
calling home,
navigate to a location,
navigating to 123 Main Street, San Francisco, take a left turn on Omar Street,
send current location,
sending your location,
receive a call on speakerphone,
hello,
access all saved locations,
searching locations, Omni Berkshire Place, Times Square, navigating to Times Square, take a U-turn,
browse through the contacts for a call or a text,
searching contacts, Alan Walker, Amy Lewis, calling Amy Lewis,
find the nearest gas station, coffee shop, or hospital,
navigating to gas station,
send a stress signal with a phone call and preset text message,
sending stress signal.
SafePhone is a unique device designed to avoid long manual and visual distraction when using a phone. Just configure the buttons once to assign various tasks, and SafePhone will perform those multi-step tasks with a touch of a button. No interaction with the app. It runs in the background. Buttons are designed differently and glow in the dark. Don't look, just feel the bump and press. Place your SafePhone on the dashboard, windshield, center console, or virtually anywhere with an easy and quick access.
Isn't that something, huh, guys?
Yeah.
Again, one more time, it's just absolutely fabulous to see the technology that's coming.
Yeah.
And I never even knew that device existed. You know, of course, that's why I show it. But I think its time has come. You know, that's a good, I'm going to see what that costs, you know. Pretty interesting. What do you think?
Yeah.
No, I again, yeah, distracted driving obviously is an issue. That's and I like the fact that you can sense it with
right, the tactile, you know, little bump.
Yeah, which is even better. Wow, excellent.
Okay, next one up. Here we go again.
At Verifier, we are dedicated to providing a solution that preserves the readiness of your handgun while reliably increasing safety. That's why we invented Guardian.
Constructed from a lightweight metal alloy, combined with a unique patent-pending lock design, Guardian physically restricts access to your handgun's trigger. Guardian is self-contained, attaches directly to the trigger guard of your handgun via a custom adapter, and remains attached in both the locked and unlocked configuration. There is no permanent alteration to your handgun, and should you choose, Guardian can easily be removed from the firearm.
Utilizing biometric technology, Guardian is specifically keyed to you. When you press the fingerprint reader, Guardian instantly authenticates your identity and unlocks, allowing immediate access to the handgun trigger. So literally, you are the key.
Your handgun is reliably ready when you need it and responsibly secured when you don't.
Guardian is the revolutionary solution in responsibly securing your handgun against unauthorized or accidental use, while maintaining unprecedented readiness, ensuring the protection of the ones you love.
There you go. That answers the question of gun safety now, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I heard of that one just recently.
Is that right? I hadn't heard of that before.
Yeah.
Apparently, not only can you do a biometric lock, doesn't work if you have gloves on, by the way, but you can, the code there, you can actually put in a code and it'll open too. I think anyway, I think that's true. But what do you think of that, Frank?
Yeah, and I'm trying to think where else other places you could use it where you don't want people to access certain things.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they've had, oh gosh, it's been a while since they had fingerprint scanners on laptops, but similar types of ideas. But that is a problem, because people I don't put a lock on my weapon at night, and because you need to use it. You need to use it. You don't have time to screw around trying to find a key to unlock your weapon, but that is locking your weapon and preventing it from being accidental discharges or something like that.
Well, I guess if you had kids at home, it would be mandatory.
Well, anybody, visitors or otherwise,
Right.
I have a new shotgun sitting in my front room, and Matthias Sensei was up yesterday and says, "What's that, Sensei?" I said, "It's a gun. Don't open it." but it's available, so I don't have anybody here, but so it's not.
One other application would be on home door locks, because I have a keypad, but people could break that code, but it requires a fingerprint to get in. That might be it.
My third ex-wife, when she remodeled the whole house, she actually got a door lock like that from Home Depot. They have them. They recognize your fingerprint and just opens, So it's out there. It's interesting. Yeah. All right, next up on the deck. There we go again.
Hi, I'm Adam. This is Andy. We're the creators of Salt. Salt is a gun, but it's not like any gun that you've ever seen. It was designed around the belief that a firearm shouldn't have to take a life in order to protect a life. From that simple idea, we started by completely rethinking the bullet. Instead of lead, Salt was designed to shoot a specialized round filled with a powerful toxin. So instead of killing the target, Salt opens up on impact in a cloud that instantly causes respiratory and visual distress. So while an intruder or a curious child would be incapacitated, the encounter wouldn't be fatal.
This rethink also lets Salt be used not only offensively, but defensively as well. So if an intruder is kicking down your door, Salt allows you to shoot the area around it before the danger is on top of you. This creates a protective cloud of toxin between you and the intruder before he's ever a threat to you or your family.
Our last big idea was to make Salt easy to use for everyone. So we replaced the violent bang of black powder with the silent power of compressed air. The result is a fear-free user experience. So the only person that should have anything to be scared of is an intruder.
Now, if you shot the gun close to somebody, would that toxin bother you as well?
Oh yeah, if you're in that cloud. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Or wind or anything like that. But I mean, there's usually not a lot of wind inside of a house where you use such a device. But it's a non-lethal approach that I had not seen before.
Now, does that mean you would need a license for it?
No, I don't think you do. It's not a firearm. It's compressed air.
It's not a firearm. You're right.
Right. So it's classically not a gun.
Right.
And I looked up on their website, a starter kit was $350. Certainly affordable. I mean, a Glock is $900, you know, so if you want to buy a Glock like I have, it's $900. And so this thing here is $350. I think it was 350, 49.95, whatever. But certainly a great opportunity for home safety without the threat of death.
Yeah.
You know, I imagine if you shoot somebody in the eye with that thing, it's going to damage their eye, no doubt about that. But I mean, that's still not killing somebody.
Well, the other benefit is you don't need to be pinpoint accuracy as long as you hit something and it goes off.
Yeah, even behind them or
Yeah,
you know, on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that and with no recoil either, you know,
Yeah.
to speak of, might be just the perfect home defense, you know, idea. And again, I think that's a wonderful thing for self-defense. So, all right, let's go to the next one. And we might not finish all these today, by the way, because we're running a little long.
Are you tired of using a remote control for your air conditioner? Well, meet the Touch AC. All you need to do is swipe this baby, and the room is automatically filled with cool, refreshing air.
Look at this imbecile. Doing the rain dance, trying to control the temperature. Bouncing like that, I'd probably sweat like a pig anyway. When I want to control the temperature, I use Sensibo. It's based on a simple idea, really. Just make me feel good. Hey, Paul and Dan, what's the temperature in the room right now?
28 degrees Fahrenheit.
Is it hot or cold?
Hot.
You see, nobody cares what the exact temperature is. It's just about being comfortable. Sensibo is a device that turns any remote-controlled AC into a connected, super smart one. So smart, in fact, that if you choose full automatic mode, you'll never have to think about your AC ever again. Sensibo turns up the heat before you wake up in the winter. It cools your house down before you come home in the summer. It's like your mom and dad, just without having to hear about his back problems. Hi, Mom. I'd like to take a brief moment and explain how Sensibo's installed. Oh, look, here's the team behind Sensibo. Engineers, designers, visionaries. They've invested years of their lives in this product, not only to make your life more comfortable, but also because of a green agenda. Not that. The other green. Yes, Sensibo reduces the energy your AC uses by an average of 40%, making it good for the planet and for your electricity bill. Personally, I don't care about Earth, but if it doesn't bother me, I don't mind letting it exist. Live in a rented apartment? Sensibo can be moved from AC to AC. Here's how. Sensibo even works with your 20-year-old remote-controlled AC, because an old dog can learn new tricks. Fetch.
Okay, what do you think about that, guys?
Didn't we used to call them thermostats?
Yes, precisely. But, you know, I've got different air conditioners in my rooms, right? So, and it will work with those. I thought, wow, that's really cool. And it senses, you know, where I am and only cools where I am.
Oh,
So,
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I see the value.
yes,
But you have to have a remote control air conditioner.
most are these days, Dick.
Well, my house is,
Well, you have central AC,
yeah,
different market.
yeah.
Yeah, so at least I think so anyway. I might look into that. But the Sensibo was about, again, I think $350 for one item. Kind of pricey, mind you, but certainly an interesting approach to your house, you know?
Yeah, and the real competition for that comes from, like, you know, all the cable companies and the alarm people offer the smart house, where
Right.
you can have that and just on your cell phone, and you know, you'll be coming home, you can set it and turn it up or down. And
Yep.
so,
It's wave of the future. All right, one more. I thought this was very worthwhile to take a peek at as well.
Whatever happened to the days in mobile when companies were constantly pushing the boundaries of innovation and design, putting out products that were sometimes even considered wacky?
We needed to design a device that was not only an incredible phone, but also an amazing wearable.
I used to repair a lot of phones that had cracked screens or were water damaged, and did it quite frequently. And when I took apart a lot of these phones, I noticed that a lot of the brands shared similar construction and design techniques, and oftentimes used materials that were obsolete, like screws, and using rigid and fragile materials like glass and even steel, and thought to myself, there had to be a better way. We first started with a lot of different types of concepts and designs, and after a lot of iterations and testing and vetting, we really kind of narrowed it down to 2 designs, which was a large and a small, and before you knew it, the Portal was born.
We needed to ensure that it was not only waterproof, but also flexible, shatterproof, and wearable.
We needed to build a team of incredible people with a wide range of skill sets who are all unified to pursue our mission and break the mold of the mobile market. The problem with the mobile market right now is that the phones are all the same, and what little differentiation they have is that some are less user-friendly and some are less durable. Things like this still happen, so we're here to change that.
With the vibrant palette, clean typography and easy to understand icon set, the Portal UI is an experience that cannot be missed. Why be stuck with the same old design when you've got a new refreshing interface to play with? An interface that helps you interact, that knows what you want and works with you in the way that you want it to work.
The Portal not only has all the features you would expect, such as Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and NFC, but also has a waterproof Kevlar-infused polyurethane body, a 6-inch flexible display, wireless charging, an unlocked network, and so much more.
We're going to go right to this one. This is cool too. While we're here, save your thoughts. Here, watch this. This is really cool.
Yeah.
Wow. I know. Crazy, isn't it?
That is the security camera.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I've seen those ads with the internet-based home security systems.
Right.
You just put them on, and so that's hurting that business. This is the security camera business. Any business can use.
And it's mobile. You move it around. You can easily go into anybody's room. Kids.
Take pictures. You can have it take pictures.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
That's impressive.
I thought that was very impressive. And, who would have thunk if you were sitting there looking at your home security IP address camera, what more could you do with that? It's already done. You know, they got them in color. They got them in battery. You know, they turn on, they turn off. But that was cute.
Well done.
And wouldn't look like a camera to a burglar. It looks like a wall ornament.
Yeah.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah, well done.
Well, there you go. Well, I'll leave the rest for next week. Cool. All right.
You know, the key thing in the video before, and it applies to all these entrepreneurs, is when the guy said he's working on repairing cell phones and looking at using screws and all, he says there has to be a better way.
Right.
You know, that's the key phrase for anybody that's thinking of a business or has thoughts, is there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way. So.
Well, and I believe they say that necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then having a wearable like that, I mean, they have wearable watches that connect to your cell phone, but that's the whole phone.
I would be more apt to buy that than a watch because it's a little more practical as far as size.
Yep. And you can pull it out of the carrier, and it's flexible. You're not going to crack a screen. You can drop the darn thing. It's waterproof. Jumps out of airplanes with you. Well, next time you go skydiving, Dick, you can take one like that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. but the thing is, there's probably 10,000 people repairing cell phones, and only one of them said there has to be a better way.
Yeah. We see cell phone repairs at the computer repair place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nobody's saying there's got to be a better way.
So I guess the thing is, if you're doing a repetitive function, you should ask yourself, is there a better way of doing it?
Agreed.
Maybe start a business. Yeah.
Frank, any comments before we close?
No. I when I first saw that one about the wrist thing, I thought, oh, it's a knockoff of an Apple watch.
Right.
But no, to me it's a lot more practical than an Apple Watch. You know, I don't want something that small. I like it's more user friendly because it's a little bit bigger, and I think the safeguards against cracking the screen, and we're all concerned about that.
Right.
You know, and again, this is today.
Right.
2 years from now, we'll say, really? They had those back then? Oh man, those are so old. And that's in 2 years, right?
That's right.
I love it. I love being here.
All right, guys. Well, we're going today.
All righty.
Bye.
Bye.
Hang on.